Right, Shalom. Call Loyam La, YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, QADASH. Shalom to the for elect. In this lesson, I will be getting into spiritual powers because we're getting closer and closer to the end of the society. You know, Esau have a short time. He's about to bring forth his wrath. He's about to show his teeth. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 12, verse 12, and it says, "Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time." Come. So these wicked Edomites, they're about to come down unto the Israelites with great wrath, you know. And we're going to need spiritual power in these evil times. And this is the book of John, chapter 14, starting at verse 12. And it says, "Verily, verily," meaning truly, "verily, verily, I say unto you, he that believeth on me, the works that I do, he do also, and greater works than these shall he do," Slaki, "because I go unto my Father." Khan. This is YAHAWASHI speaking. And he's saying, those that believe on him will do the works that he do, and greater. You know, YAHAWASHI did marvelous, miraculous works when he was on the earth, you know. He raised Lazarus up from the dead. He walked on water. He turned water into wine. He also fed a great multitude of people with 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. You know, he healed the blind man. He healed the paralyzed man, and he healed the nobleman's son. Slack is, I'm outside right now. You know, it's a lot of noise in the background. This is the book of John, chapter 9, verse 1. It says, "And as YAHAWASHI passed by, he saw a blind man, which was blind from his birth. And his disciples asked him, saying, Master, who did send this man, or his parents, that he was born blind?" And YAHAWASHI answered, "Neither had this man sinned, nor his parents, but that the works of the Most High should be made manifest in him. I must work the works of him that sent me, while it is day. The night cometh, when no man can work. As long as I am in the world, I am the light of the world." When he had thus spoken, he spat on the ground and made clay of the spittle, and he anointed the eyes of the blind man with clay, and said unto him, "Go wash in the pool of Siloam." He went his way therefore, and washed, and came seeing. You know, see right there, that's what you call spiritual power. That's immortal. You know, YAHAWASHI, he did amazing things that no man was able to do. And Yahawashi, he also did things that weren't written in the scriptures. Get that real quick. This is the book of John, chapter 21, verse 25, and it says, and there are also many other things which Yahawashi did, the which, if they should be written every one, I suppose that even the word itself could not contain the books that should be written. Slakia. And it says, I suppose that even the word itself could not contain the books that should be written. Amen. Yeah, so Yahawashi did so many amazing works that the world itself could not contain the books that would be written. You know, guessing Yahawashi, he did a lot of things that blew people's minds. Back at John 14 and 12, and it says, the work that I do shall he do also, and greater works than these shall he do, because I go unto my Father. Khan. So Yahawashi, he rose from the dead. He was beamed up in the chariots to go with his Father, Yahweh. So in the time of great tribulation, in the time of Jacob's trouble, Yahawashi is going to put the Spirit on his elect men, and they will be doing the things Yahawashi done and greater in these evil times. Back at John 14, verse 13, it says, and whatsoever ye shall ask in my name, that will I do, that the Father may be glorified in the Son. If ye shall ask anything in my name, I will do it. Khan. So if you call on Yahawashi in the times of trouble, he will be there. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 16, verse 16. And it says, behold, I will send for many fishers, said the Lord, Yahawashi, and they shall fish them. Yeah. And the prophets, the men of Yahawashi, starting with Apostle Tahar and all the way down to the brothers, are the fishers. And we're fishing for the elect of Israel. And it says, they shall fish them. What that means is we will catch them, the elect of Israel, with the words of Yahawashi. And it says, and after will I send for many hunters, and they shall hunt them for every mountain, from every mountain, and from every hill, and out of the holes of the rocks. So the prophets, the fishers, will soon be turned into hunters in the time of trouble, in Jacob's trouble, you know. And these hunters will be given spiritual power to hunt down the wicked. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 49, verse 27. And it says, Benjamin shall raven as a wolf. And the word raven means to tear, to rip into pieces. In the morning, he shall devour the prey. And at night he shall divide the spoil. Yeah, and the spoil of the prey. So the elect men are going to hunt down you 2/3 Israelites, and also you wicked heathen nations. For example, like the government and their military, because those the ones that's going to bring that wrath on us. This is the book of Joshua, chapter 23, verse 8. It says, "But cleave unto the Lord YAHAWASHI your power, as ye have done unto this day." Come. So we must cleave unto the Lord YAHAWASHI, meaning we must stick with him. We must follow him, have faith in him. We must hold fast and wait. Salakia, verse 9, and it says, "For the Lord YAHAWASHI had driven out from before you great nations and strong." So YAHAWASHI delivered us out of the land of Egypt, and he will also deliver us out of America, and we will return to our land. Get that real quick. It's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 30, verse 3, and it says, "For lo, the days come, saith the Lord YAHAWASHI, that I will bring again the captivity of my people, Israel and Judah, saith the Lord YAHAWASHI, and I will cause them to return to the land that I gave to their fathers, and they shall possess it." So the Lord put us in captivity again, which is America, spiritual Egypt. And it says he will return us to the land which he gave their fathers. And that's talking about our fathers are Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Back at Joshua 23 and 9, it says, "For the Lord YAHAWASHI had driven out from before you great nations and strong. But as for you, no man had been able to stand before you unto this day." Meaning the wicked won't stand a chance before us in the time of Jacob's trouble. That goes for the elect of Israel, the hopeful elect. You 2/3 are through. Better turn back now before it's too late. Verse 10, it says, "One man of you shall chase 1,000." What that mean? It means what it says. One man will be up against 1,000 men. One man is going to chase 1,000. It's going to be like the X-Men out here. You know how Magneto and the X-Men were always going at it with the military. Magneto, he was washing the military up by itself with no problem. You see, that's going to happen in Jacob's trouble. YAHAWASHI is going to give us spiritual power to fuck these devils up. And it says, "For the Lord YAHAWASHI your power, he it is that fight for you, as he had promised you." Yeah, YAHAWASHI is going to fight for us. Let me get something real quick. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 3, verse 22. And it says, ye shall not fear them, for the Lord YAHAWASHI, your power, he shall fight for you. Khan. So the Lord's going to fight for us. No? Before he sends forth YAHAWASHI, he going to give some of the men of Israel that spiritual power. It's the book of Leviticus, chapter 26, verse 7. It says, and ye shall chase your enemies, and they shall fall before you by the sword. And 5 of you shall chase 100, and 100 of you shall put 10,000 to flight. Con, it's gonna be like X-Men out here. It's gonna be on some Dragon Ball Z shit. It's gonna be Goku and Vegeta against a whole army, you know. It's gonna be like Dragon Ball Z Super. You know. It says, and 100 of you shall put 10,000 to flight. Yeah, we gonna kill the wicked. Lord willing, we a part of that number. Myself and you brothers. And your enemies shall fall before you by the sword. Yeah, and that sword, our sword is going to be that spiritual power from YAHAWASHI. This is the book of Zechariah, chapter 12, verse 8, and it says, it says, in that day shall the Lord YAHAWASHI defend the inhabitants of Jerusalem. Yeah, YAHAWASHI, he's going to defend Israel, the hopeful elect. And it says, and he that is feeble, and the word feeble meaning weak. And it says, and he that is feeble among them at that day shall be as David, Khan. And David, the brother David, the beloved, he was a man of war, you know. He loved war, you know. He defeated thousands and thousands of men on his own. For example, Goliath. It says, in the house of David shall be as the Most High, as the angel of the Lord YAHAWASHI before them. And it shall come to pass in that day that I will seek to destroy all the nations that come against Jerusalem. Come. So the Lord, he's going to destroy you wicked nations. Let me go in the scripture to prove how David was giving it up back in those times, ancient times. This is the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 17, verse 45. And it says, then said David to the Philistine, thou comest to me with the sword, and with the spear, and with the shield. But I come to thee in the name of the Lord YAHAWASHI of hosts, the power of the armies of Israel, whom thou hast defied. Khan. You know, Goliath, he pulled the weapons, you know. And David's weapon was the spirit of YAHAWASHI. And it says, this day will the Lord YAHAWASHI deliver thee into my hand, and I will smite thee, and take thy head from thee, and I will give the carcasses of the hosts of the Philistines this day unto the fowls of the air, and to the wild beasts of the earth, that all the earth may know that there is a power in Israel. And all this assembly shall know that the Lord YAHAWASHI saveth not with sword and spear, for the battle is the Lord YAHAWASHI. And he will give you into our hands. Yeah, so just how the Philistines found out there's a power in Israel, so will these wicked nations, these wicked governments and armies will find out there's a true power amongst the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, and also the Israelite foreigners who are the Israelites. And it came to pass when the Philistine rose and came and drew nigh to meet David, that David hasted and ran toward the army to meet the Philistine Khan. So David talking crazy. He was bold. You know? That's that Lion of Judah. You know? He ran down on Goliath while he was with his army. You know, David had faith. He ran down. He didn't care because he knew YAHAWASHI was with him. You know? He ain't chicken out. He ain't go the other way. Kept the faith. And it says, and David put his hand in his bag and took thence a stone and sling it and smote the Philistine in his forehead, that the stone stuck in his forehead, and he fell upon the face of the earth. So David prevailed over the Philistine with the sling and with the stone, and smote the Philistine and slew him. But there was no sword in the hand of David, Khan. You know, all David needed was a rock. And that's the spirit of YAHAWASHI. You know, the spirit was with David, you see? So this is what's about to happen. You know? Spiritual power. A lot of X-Men shit, a lot of Dragon Ball Z shit, a lot of anime shit is about to go on. You know? The hopeful elect, you know, we wait on YAHAWASHI, you know? We not like these other men that say they believe in YAHAWASHI, going to gun ranges and prepping and preparing to battle Esau with his sword, you know? You can't beat Esau with his own blessing. This is why we supposed to hold fast and wait on YAHAWASHI. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying to you brothers, you few sisters out there listening. Lord willing, until next time, I say, Shalom. Barak de Yahawah, Barak de Yahawashi, Barak de Yahawah, Barak de Yahawashi, Barak de Yahawah, Barak de Yahawashi, BAHASHAM, RAWCHAA, QADASH, Aman, Shalom.